Hey, I'm a floating head. Anyway, make a line above your sketch, also lower the opacity of your sketch a bit. Here are all my custom brushes, which most of them are locked because I did not get the pro version. So with this line art brush, I guess you guys, if you don't have my custom brushes, you can always use your own, or you can find the custom brushes in the playlist, link in the description. So the very first step to line art, which, well, this is just the steps that I like to do. Since this is my chibi style, I am doing very thick line art. So first you're just, gonna go over everything. Make sure that your lines are smooth. I'm using my finger for this, by the way, so don't make excuses saying you need a stylus. And if you really do need a stylus, then, I don't know, create one out of tinfoil or something. I don't know. I use my finger for this. So, you see, it's just a very simple process of going over everything. Like, not much thought into it, just go over it because the real magic is going to happen later. Also, an important thing is to do one long stroke for really clean lines. Don't do like a bunch of tiny strokes, and if something looks a little weird, us digital artists have the advantage of the back button, unlike traditional artists who have to use an eraser or something. So, as you can see, this line art is somewhat of low quality. So, also just make sure that your line art is kind of clean, like nothing's overcrossing everything, so I'm just cleaning up little things a bit. And you can see little stuff like that, like, clean that up. So clean up your line art a bit. I probably should go on airplane mode because I'm getting notifications. And then, this is the important part. For all those little faded parts, when you start drawing, you want to fill those in, because we want really solid line art, at least for the style that I'm going for. So you see. Why does that sound familiar? It's a hard man, I guess. Geez, it's been a long time since I watched his videos. Anyways, so you see that these little, these faded parts, when you start drawing your line art, you want to get rid of those by drawing over it with more solid lines. Now see the difference? Now everything is connected. When you place the bucket tool on something, it's not going to go all out of lines and stuff. And then we got the next step. The next step is line weight. Line weight works as you make the lines thicker towards where the sun... you make the lines thicker from the opposite way of where the sun is. So my sun is coming from the upper right corner, so the shadows go more towards the bottom left, because that's how shadows work. Alright, so where the light hits, your line art is thinner. Where the light doesn't hit and there should be shadow, make your lines thicker. Kind of like when two things connect. There you can see that there would probably be no light there, so you're making the lines thicker. Line art is a great way of giving your drawings some more dimension. I feel like line weight is literally one of the most important things about line art. Next to like flow, I guess, next to making it like flowy. So I'm gonna skip the majority of the process since it's all just repeated over the same thing, which is just make the lines thicker from the opposite way of where the light is. Now you can see. We got line weight. Now for your details, such as the teeth, or like little things like buttons, always use a thinner brush. When you have a variety of different brushes, like brush sizes, it just makes your art look so much better, okay? Also, you see what I'm doing there with the tongue? When your lines connect to something, make it thicker. And I noticed that was a problem with this brush, since the brush has like... so we're making the thickness at the end and the start of the brush 100%, so that it can automatically do that step for us, since we want both the ends of the brush to be thicker. So as I was saying, when you're making the finer details of your art, like the little buttons or stuff like that, then make your lines thinner. Having a variety of different lines in different, I sometimes forget how to speak, but having a variety of different sizes for your brushes really can give your art a little bit more of like a pop. I don't know, it just makes it look so much better, man, okay? It makes it look better. Do it. Do it. Alright. I have no idea where I got that from. I'm so sorry. So I noticed that after I started using thinner lines for like details of like little accessories or, you know, little things, as I said, it just looks so much better. Because, I mean, if everything's in this thick liner or everything's in this thin liner, then your liner is gonna look boring as heck. It's gonna look really, really boring. So, to summarize so far of what's in this video is clean lines, which is by doing one stroke, line weight, which I've explained, and then using a variety of different sizes for your lines. We're having thinner ones for little details, we're having thicker ones for the things that are away from the light, and just, you know, yeah, like that. Okay, so I just want to show more of this speed paint so I can really explain some more things about this liner. This is a much easier liner from what my usual, how do I say this? My usual, like, anime style, I guess? Because this is chibi. So since it's chibi, everything is simplified, including the line art. Though all these techniques can be applied to, like, normally proportioned people. But for chibis, I usually make the line art a lot thicker, since I make the shading a lot more simple. And in my chibi works, I really want the line art to be so much more defined. So now I'll be showing you guys to color your line art. I always found it better not to keep your line art black. Do not keep your line art black, please. Use a brown or a dark red. I usually like to go more towards reds, but you know what? You do you. So now we're going to go for a lighter red, and we're going to use an airbrush. And then I'm just using the airbrush to lighten the parts, specifically the skin, since the skin's usually the lightest part. Unless you have darker skin, then, well, you know, you can still use it, because we want to make the skin look very vibrant. So that's why we're using a very vibrant red color. So when the light hits, that's where I make the line art a little lighter. Also, I dab it onto the bangs in front of the face, because I kind of want to give it a bit of a glowy effect, and also onto the flowers in her hair, because it's pretty. Yes. Also, this isn't a necessary step, but a part of my style, I usually color in the eyelashes with a color of the eyes. And in this case, their eyes are blue. So I'm making that thing blue. Yes. Okay, that's all. Thanks, and see ya!